Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Rugged Radio Virtual Vision. It has been a long time, Cruiser Mel.
Yeah, it sure has. Good to see you again, Doug.
Yeah, it's been a minute. We had the bass player for the David Bowie tour.
That's right.
Ferris. It was awesome. Great guest. It's been a minute. Tonight we got Dode. If anybody doesn't know, Diamond Cutters CD release party. Cat's already been out of the bag, or the chicken maybe's already been out of the bag. So you might have heard some of it, but you're going to hear a lot of it tonight. And we're going to talk to people that were on the CD. We're going to talk to Dode. We're going to talk to Fernando, who produced the CD. Dode went to California and played around with Fernando. Had a good time.
They worked too.
That's right. So we're going to have some fun tonight. That's the objective. So Cruiser Mel, are you ready?
It's always the objective. We only have fun here at our RVV.
That's it. So, are we ready for the crazy man? The chicken man.
I'm ready.
The legend, the myth, all that stuff. Here we go. Dode, what's up?
All righty. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Stella in the house. Stella Trois for the chicken man in the Carolinas.
Yes.
Are you
First one? Been riding on the tractor all day.
Yeah.
Just got into the barn here, got the screen loaded up and all like that. Wish I could throw something on the green back there, but we got to live with what we
see
got.
Little stuff.
Matches my bottle.
Well, that's right.
I like the backdrop there with the Longhorn cattle. Very nice.
Yeah. Well, that's my backyard, you know.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, actually, I invited them in the house tonich.
Nice. I got some good length on there, tip to tip.
Okay, that's never been said on this show.
How much are those worth, Dode?
Man, some of those cows can go 10, 15, $50,000 sometime, but mine are, $1,500, $2,000, something like that.
Now, why are you calling it a cow?
Say what now?
Why are you calling it a cow?
Well, a female cow is a cow, and a guy with testicles is a bull.
Okay, so those are not bulls behind her?
No, and females and males have horns, so those are cows behind her.
Those are cows, huh? Educational.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It's a heifer until it has a calf, and then it becomes a cow.
Well, I will sleep better tonight knowing this. Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave y'all with Bobby Strickland, who's in the house, and help Fernando get in here. So let's bring in the wild man from California. Here we go.
Hey. What's going on, guys?
So cool.
So good to see you.
Hey, Bobby. All right, man.
Good to see you, bro.
Good to be seen.
Is that a Stella?
This is a Stella Artois.
I got the dad jokes or rad jokes.
Ooh, that is a bad one. A rad one, excuse me.
It's what I got.
Yeah. So you guys, I mean, did y'all get to hang out with each other and actually go have fun, or were y'all working the whole time? Or
I'll let Dode answer that.
No, I just shared the files with him through the internet, and Fernando, pulled himself down and let Bobby crawl in there. So Bobby took it to a studio somewhere or something in his house or somewhere. I don't know where. He uploaded all the other parts of the track, and then he played on top of it. And actually, it was kind of hard to convince Fernando, hey, man, I need Bobby on this track. I want saxophone on here, and I just hear Bobby Strickland. This song is made for him. Oh, no, Dode, please, don't kill my lead. Oh, I played that lead so good. Oh, my gosh, please, no. I said, this one is for Bobby. You're on the other 22. I mean, give me some break. Cut me some slack here. Let Bobby have a little turn here.
Bobby got two of the songs, right?
Yes. The first song, Spoil Rotten, he's on. Got the big baritone sax. Yeah, I don't know. He felt real comfortable about that one, like he did When You Fall in Love, with that Philly soul kind of thing. I think Bobby's on the single out of the 23 songs. I think this is the single. This is the one that could go straight to number one.
When You Fall in Love? That's the
When
one
You Fall in Love.
Do you agree with that, Bobby Strickland?
What's that?
Do you agree that might hit number one on the Billboard charts?
Anything is possible in this world. Get it on Spotify. Let it roll.
Yeah.
Where all the kids are listening to stuff these days. So
You were all
No,
jacked up when you first heard it, calling me on the phone and telling me I'm playing the song, going the highway. Dode, you got to get this thing on some other big music outlets and stuff.
yeah, I think it's a great tune. I really like it. I personally do. But I mean, I'm myopic. I'm recording on it. So, I mean, when I work on tunes like that, you fall in love with them. No pun intended. But you asked where I recorded it. I recorded it right here in this room. Right here.
Tell them the story about the saxophone and buying it and selling it and getting the other sax back and the same one on the Second Wind tour and all that kind of story. That's a good story.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so originally when I first started with Todd, I played on a tenor saxophone. If anybody plays sax out there, they'll know what I'm talking about. I played on a Martin tenor committee. And the Martin Tenor Committee was a professional style saxophone they started building them in the 40s, I think, and built them through the 50s. Well, let me think about that. They built them all the way up to the late 60s, like 69. But the one that I had when I started with Todd, I played on that through the Nearly Human days. And then when I got to New York under contract at Bearsville, I sold that horn and I bought a Selmer Mark VI, and that's forever gone. Some, I think a college student bought it in Albany. So I've always kind of missed that horn, that it has the Martin tenors have this certain tone to them that you can't really replicate with any other horn. It's a warmer sound. And I don't know if the listener can perceive it, but certainly the player can. And it makes a difference when you're actually trying to play the horn. So anyway, fast forward, I found a Martin tenor that was on Craigslist way up in Northern California. And the guy wanted about maybe a third of what it was actually worth. And I thought, God, this must just be, somebody's going to hit you over the head when you pull up to buy the horn. And because he just wasn't asking enough for it. And there was a lot of other people must have thought the same thing because it wouldn't sell. And it also helped that he lived in Eureka, which if you're familiar with California, that's, I think the next stop is Oregon. So way up in Northern California. So anyway, long story short, I called the guy and got through to him finally. And I took the chance of buying it from him. And we met in kind of a halfway point. And I got it for a song and a dance. And it's a beautiful horn, mint condition, closet queen kind of horn. It's right here. I'll show you. And this is the horn right here.
Very nice.
Shiny.
Yeah, shiny. I mean, when you see this horn was made in 1967, I think. But I mean, there's not a blemish on it. It's perfect, just mint condition. So I got it with the thought of I wanted to use. I've been doing a lot of different kinds of projects lately, recording projects, and I wanted to start getting vintage horns and playing them on these different projects, and have something different to offer different producers, and in terms of tone and color palette. So Dode's was the first one that I used this on. And that was when I fall in love. So there it is. And, so
and
it's
Second Wind. Did you say anything about Second Wind? The sounds you hear on Second Wind, Todd's album.
Yeah.
When you were on that tour.
Yeah.
A lot of that sax, although you sold that one, it's the same.
No, it was not Second Wind. It was Nearly Human.
Nearly Human. Okay.
Yeah, Nearly Human. So the first solo I ever played with Todd was the first session I ever did with him was Feel It. Remember the tune Feel It?
Awesome.
Which was a Vince Welnick, Lori Welnick, and Todd tune. They all co-wrote it, I believe. So anyway, I showed up and I had that old Martin in tow, and it turned out I had the big solo on that. as well as playing horn section work. So yeah, and I played that all through that tour, the Nearly Human tour. Second one was on March 6th. Anyway, that's the story of that sax. And
So
now
this,
I've got another one, and I'm using it. I use it on Dodes, and I'll probably play it going forward too. I just love
Nope.
it.
Nope. You got
did this guy, nope, got cut off. Did this
Gotta cut it
guy,
off.
he just didn't know it was good, it was worth what it was worth? I mean, why did he give it away like that or sell it such a deal? Any idea?
I'm not sure. Maybe hand of God, really.
Yeah. It's meant to be for Bobby Strickland.
Yeah,
Dode.
sometimes horns come to you, and they're just kind of meant to be yours, I think.
Yeah.
And a lot of things had to fall into place for me to get this horn correctly. The guy didn't have a typical cell phone, so you'd call him, and he wouldn't answer. Then he'd have to call you back, which I think probably put a lot of people off,
Yeah.
And the guy had bought the horn, and he told me that he'd gotten in a really bad car accident and he couldn't play it anymore. So I kind of sleuthed. I looked him up, and he told me his name. So I looked him up and found an article in the newspaper, and there it was, this accident where he almost died. Terrible accident.
Wow.
And when I took the horn up from him, he had all these scars all over his body. He was still going through corrective surgeries from it, and his face was all messed up. But yeah, he probably won't be able to play anymore. So I'll put it in my hands.
Absolutely.
For the time being, somebody will have it later when I can't use it anymore.
All right, let's welcome Fernando Perdomo. Fernando, is it true that you didn't want to put Bobby on the album?
What are you talking about?
Dode said you didn't want him on there.
What?
On that particular track, Fernando, of course, every one of his solos is the ultimate solo, and every one of them's legendary. But we had to let Bobby shine and had to pull Fernando down just a bit.
Oh, it's all
on this particular song.
So honored to have.
All right, who's making that racket?
I don't know what that.
I don't know. Is that me?
Weird.
Not me.
Not me.
What, me?
That leaves me.
Come on, man. This is your show.
What am I doing?
How do we know if it's us making the racket?
All right,
I don't know. It sounds like somebody's shuffling a deck of cards or something.
Yeah. It's not me.
Let's try. It's Bobby.
It's Bobby.
Are you stirring?
Yep, it's you,
I
Bobby.
turned my mic off and it went away, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're so honored to have Bobby on the record. He's such an incredible leader.
You want me to call?
Is there something that's moving around near you?
I'll call back.
All right, call back.
Put out some rat bait and call back.
How you doing, Fernando?
So when we did the wine shows during COVID, I kept hearing this sound, and it was driving me crazy when I watched the archives, and it was me doing this. I was so mad. I wasn't thinking it through, during the whole shows and all
Well,
of
the beautiful thing about putting these things together, there's so many moving parts and anything could go wrong.
Yeah, but I got it edited a little bit anyway. So all right,
but no, I'm doing great. I just got back from New York. I was playing my first show with Carmine Apiece, and it was a lot of fun. It was it was really cool. But I'm so excited about this record, and really it came out fantastic. And I'm also glad it finally came out because it came together so fast. And then we had a bunch of guests come in, and that took a while. And then we were just trying to time this right so we could put out the record, at the right time. Hey, there's Bob.
There he is, complaining about the guest again. Why did CLB think you were at the UK, Fernando?
No, I'm not in the UK. I'm in the UK first week of June. No. I was just in New York City playing at the Cutting Room, and it was a lot of fun. It was an incredible thing. And I was
Before that, you were in Germany.
Huh?
Before that, you were in Germany.
Yeah, but let's not talk about that.
Okay. Well, maybe that's where she thought you were in the UK. I don't know.
No. I was in Germany for that art rock festival, but I was like extreme Germany, like East Germany, like super, like I had to use translation apps, you know. But no, it was really cool actually. But I'm really glad to be back because I've got a lot of stuff to do. And making this record was a lot of fun, and it was cool to get a lot of really great people on it, like you know, Bobby and Prairie and Durga McBroom and the whole clan, you know.
Fuzby Morris.
Huh?
Fuzby Morris.
Oh yeah, Fuzby's fantastic. You know, he's a good friend of mine, and he did an incredible.
What is the girl who did the strings?
Caitlin Wolfberg.
Caitlin Wolfer.
Come on, man. So Fernando, Bobby sends you what, like a WAV file, MP4? What does he send you?
Well, okay, so let's talk about this type of collaboration. So, look, you know, when the pandemic happened, things shut down and people couldn't go to studios anymore. So, the beautiful thing about sending files to each other is, you know, we could still collaborate without being in the same room. And it was beautiful to get files from Bobby and from everyone. They're just incredible. They just pop them in and they just sound great. And Bobby's a pro, total pro. I mean, and his horns sound great, and his phrasing and his note choices are incredible. So it was a lot of fun. That song "When You Love" is really interesting because it's got these bossa nova changes that are super cool. So I personally was, you know, very heavy on the chromaticism on that song, you know, which is really cool. It's great.
Hey, why don't we're 17 minutes in or so. We have not played any music. Why don't we play that one?
That'd be great.
And Prairie is texting me on my phone, and he's saying, I could come in now, or I could go back to the hotel. I said, wait 30 minutes.
Tell him to check.
Let's play "When You Fall in Love." And then
I told Prairie, hold on a minute. We got Bobby on the stage right now.
You got him the link, though, right?
Yeah, I got him the link.
All right. Here we go. This is "When You Fall in Love," though. What's this song about besides falling in love?
Going around town, about to get married, and everybody's telling you, why you want to buy the cow when you get the milk for free?
You're going
to regret that. You're going to regret the day you met her. Oh, Lord have mercy. You need to marry somebody who's rich. You can make more money in 5 minutes than you can a whole lifetime of living. You're about to mess up. So wait a minute. Man, I love this girl. You know, I'm happy. I'm excited. Quit, you know, pissing down my back and tell me it's raining, whatever, you know. I'm excited about it. So, and my guitar teacher had taught me these new jazz chords. And so that's what I told Fernando. I said, Fernando, these are a lot of jazz chords. I'm not sure what they are, but I had the new jazz chords from the guitar teacher. I had the feeling of wanting to tell the people to go to hell in town. I'm getting married and I'm going to be happy about it. So when you fall in love.
All right. So we don't have any real video. It's going to be still, but here's the music. Here we go.
When you fall in love, it's a push and shove. Ain't no use to pretend
I'm
I'm
sorry
in love.
out in the car wreck, but I sure am glad you bought that saxophone and got a good deal on it.
Yeah,
That is a very sax heavy song.
loved it.
Bobby
know what?
said
I mean, let me say
you have a
something.
sax that goes all the way through the song, right, Bobby? It's like a whole. Tell me what it is, Bobby. You don't.
When
It starts with it's a whole line that goes through a whole song when you're a sax player.
when somebody sends me a track like that, you'll ask, okay, where do you want me to fill, or what do you want me to do? Whether it's background stuff or a solo here or there. And Doug goes, just blow through the whole thing.
It's awesome.
Wherever you want. So, I mean, so I did. I blew through the whole thing. And I didn't know. I thought they were going to duck a lot of it out, but I think they used just about everything. And
We love it.
Yeah, I was so happy to do it. And I'm a pig. I love listening to myself on playing a tune like that. So who the hell? It's not too much for me.
Yeah. So Dode, did you ever think when you were at your first full moon camp that you'd be a few years later having an album with Bobby Strickland on it?
Absolutely not. I told Nora, I said, Nora, what do I care? I'm never going to see any of these people ever again in my whole life, so I'm just going to let it all hang out. I mean, I paid my money to come up here. I'm going to just wing it. I'm not going to hold anything back. She said, don't say that, Dode. You're one of us now. No, you're coming back. We're all family now.
That sounds like her.
And I said, well,
Who's that,
I don't
Michelle?
know. What now?
Was that
Nora.
Michelle?
Nora.
No, Nora.
One of the fans.
Got it.
Nora.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Farwell. Yep.
As we were making T-shirts with an airbrush and Prairie Prince's, little part of the camp or whatever. That's what Nora told me. So, and then Chuck Wiggins' wife told me, Dode, you need to get on Facebook. And I said, what? She said, you need to get on Facebook. I said, Facebook's a bunch of crap. I said, I don't give a damn what somebody had for lunch. She said, no, Dode, trust me. You need to get on Facebook. I said, well, I don't know how to do that. She said, just go home, log in, get your name, and send me a friend request. I said, oh, okay. It was 112,000, and so I owe it to a lot of different people. And no, I never could have imagined. And Bobby and I, we just have unique personalities. Whatever we have so much fun together, like playing Family Feud and all that kind of crap and stuff, right? Camps and stuff. But it's way beyond just music, It's we like to cut up. And Bobby was the preacher on that tour where he was railing and stuff. What song was that?
Cool Jerk.
Cool Jerk.
Cool
Yes.
Jerk.
That was awesome.
So, these personalities, they kind of gravitate towards one another. And Prairie was from Charlotte, North Carolina. And so we were, Prairie and I, we got a bond. We got a bond, right?
Yeah. So, hey, Bobby, speaking of it, go ahead.
Let me say my dad was from South Kansas, the northern part of Texas. He was from a little town called Granola. So I've never really spent much time in that part of the country, but Dode my dad and Dode are very similar. So, my dad's a lot older than Dode is. Dode's a lot younger, but it was like hearing home when talking with Dode. So anyhow, for me,
I was going to ask you if you would mind telling the story that you told me about your dad. That might be too personal about, when he was in the hospital and that kind of thing. That was a wonderful story as well about.
Yeah, I don't think I want to share that over the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I got a question for you, Bobby.
That's fine. That's fine.
So,
but
so we'll go on a happier thing. When you were doing those AWOT shows, Cool Jerk, did you wing it every night, or did you have like a script that you try to do every night the same, or because it seemed like it was different almost every time?
Boy, that wouldn't be any fun if you knew what you were going to do when you walked up there, would it?
I love it. Yep.
No.
I mean, I don't ever want to do the same thing the same way twice.
Yeah.
Todd's
You did
always
great.
been pretty cool about given me a lot of leeway.
Yeah.
For some reason. And you know, part of the show is the anticipation of laying it out there and just maybe screwing up really bad. And you know, I think maybe Fernando's the same way, I don't know, but you know, if you lay it all out there on the line and just kind of riff on a subject, you have the potentiality for greatness. You also have the potential of falling flat on your face. So
you never did.
This keeps you going. You
know?
That was such a fun part of that show. I mean, it was a highlight. Loved it.
Dode, you need to have some freestyle from Bobby on your next CD, man.
There we go.
Absolutely. So we'll be out in Kauai. That means no rehearsal for you, Bobby. You're getting a week time.
We'll go back to this Dode show, but I gotta say one more thing about that. My favorite part was the first show when Todd, something happened to the outfit and y'all had to just keep doing Zen Archer.
It was awesome. That was awesome.
It just kept going and going, and you were just having to kind of improvise.
It was you and Jesse just, where's Todd? Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So Dode.
Yes, sir.
Need to go on forever.
Yes, it is one. That is true. What about the second song Bobby was on, or actually it would be the first song?
Spoiled Rotten is the first song on the album. That's really the first song I learned how to play, and my cousin had showed me how to do that left hand bass line on the piano. And you know, it's Jerry Lee Lewis, and I made the mistake of saying, I'd like to dedicate this to Jerry Lee Loose. Fernando said, "Oh, we keeping that. We keeping that."
Yeah, who does that remind me of? Forgetting lyrics.
So I said, I think, you know, some big old baritone sax or something. I think Bobby could fit in here, you know, too. So just trying to think.
Bobby, what did he tell you to do for this song, Spoiled Rotten?
He didn't. I don't remember him telling me anything. He didn't even tell me what instrument to play. But I mean, it spoke. Baritone spoke to me on that one. I could have played a tenor on it. Alto's
great.
I think it's freezing a little.
All right, so this is only a 2 minute, 20-second song. Let's play it right quick. Everybody ready?
Bring it on.
Here we go.
I'd like to dedicate this song to Jerry Lee Lewis. There's no more left to say. It's more rotten, yes, there's no more left to say. It's more rotten, cause always get my way. Now you've been born with a silver spoon. So much money you could buy the moon. Some of the weight on you hand and foot, and responsibilities on you was never put. It's more rotten, yes, there's no more left to say. It's more rotten, yes, there's no more left to say. You always get your way. In the morning now when I get out of bed. In the morning now when I get out of bed. I need some medicine to try and help my head. Guitar! And you're down on your luck. Dog just got hit by a Big Mac truck. I know this, yeah, what you think? We can all be gone in just 1 week. It's all rotten, yes, there's no more left to say. It's all rotten, yes, there's no more left to say. I'm all rotten cause I always get my way. It's all rotten. It's all rotten. It's all rotten. I'm all rotten. Frickin'
Oh my gosh.
Wow,
Elvis
that's
action
rowdy.
too. Mm-hmm.
Fernando, he go, dude, you know what that is, right? I say, no. He goes, that's rockabilly. That's rockabilly.
I want to rock this town, rock it. Yeah, that's what it kind of reminded me of. A little bit.
Right,
Little
Fern?
Elvis, got all kind of good stuff in it. Fun stuff. Spoiled Rotten. Is that you? Were you
Fern's
spoiled
always,
rotten?
he's all quiet on me over there. What happened to Fern? He can't hear me?
Fern, you spoiled rotten? He's looking like he.
I think he's out of it.
Fernando.
Uh-oh.
Yes, just ask my wife. She'll tell you I'm high maintenance.
Spoiled rotten.
You know that movie, The Help?
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
I had a nanny growing up and get my pillow, and I mean, and then throughout my rest of my life with a mama, peanut butter jelly sandwich, glass of milk, I'm high maintenance.
Hey, I want to say, Fernando, man, he really.
Oh, wait. Hey, Doug, Fernando came in on a different line.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Not a line, but
Fernando.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Fernando's back.
Yeah,
I think so.
So
Fernando.
Fernando, after I did that, you jumped up, dude, you know what that is, right? I said, no. He goes, that's rockabilly. That's rockabilly.
It is rockabilly.
Very good.
Marketable style, buddy.
Oh, we lost Bobby.
Oh, no.
He'll come back.
So
He was making that racket again. I don't know
Fernando
what that
did that a lot. He'd jump up, dude, you know what that is, right? And I'd say, no. He'd say, that's yacht rock. That's yacht rock.
Yacht rock. I love yacht rock.
Nice.
Yeah. So, do you have any?
Well, when you make a 23-song record, it better have variety.
Do you have Dode? Do you have any? Most like anyway, rock and roll bands, they got to have a ballad. Like Kiss has to have Beth. Those kind of things. You got any kind of soft song that might make me cry that we're going to listen to later tonight?
No, there's definitely. I mean, there's some incredible songs. Harrison's song for his son is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
All right, there is some then. Okay.
Fernando would say, dude, there's not going to be a dry eye anywhere. When you play this, there's not going to be a dry eye anywhere.
Not a dry hole in the house. Hey, here's the deal. That song, it's interesting. I've worked with a lot of people that are like, either guitar or piano. But it's interesting that there's something that Dode and Todd share, is that they have individual voices when they write on guitar and when they write on piano. And when Dode gets on the piano, it gets really, really different because a lot of people just know him for the chicken song and funny stuff, but he's a real, like, he's got amazing chops, and he writes great songs, and he has a lot of depth to his stuff. And there's some tracks on the album that are truly like magnificent. Like, they've got beautiful changes and lots of emotion, and his vocals are off the charts on those. The whole album he's singing great, but when he lays into a ballad on the piano, it's just beautiful.
So that's Harrison's songs, one we got to listen to later.
Oh yeah, you definitely have.
Okay.
I don't know who said it, like Willie Nelson or even Duff McKagan said, 3 chords and the truth. 3 chords and the truth is all you need. So all these songs, they're not that complex, but they are the truth. They're real.
Yeah, that's actually.
What can I say?
In a world, especially in the way the world is right now, with a lot of music, like very much the radio and stuff, it's beautiful to have like organically, because there's no drum machines, there's no fake anything, there's no auto tune, nothing is artificial, and that's why we had all these incredible players play on the record. And another thing that's interesting is that we also abandoned click tracks on most of the record. So a lot of it is actually Dode on the floor playing guitar. Well, no, actually, Dode in the studio playing guitar, Trace playing bass live while I'm tracking drums, and then that gives it a real live band feel. Aside, in a world where a lot of stuff is made piecemeal, a lot of this is actually us playing like a band together in the room.
Nice.
Wouldn't have it any other way. I was on the camp with Todd, the second camp, and we were up there in upstate New York, and we're on this hike, and we're hiking up the hill, and I'm going, I'm going to keep up with that guy. He's like 73 years old or whatever. I'm going to keep up with him. I'm going to keep up with him, you know, and because he's the first one up the mountain, you know, and I'm keeping up with him and keeping up with him and keeping up with him. And I say, hey, man, what about a click track? What do you think about that? He said, Prairie use a click track all the time. I said, I didn't pay $3,000 to come up here and hike with Prairie. I want to know what you think about it.
Lord have mercy.
You know, thinking that I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like that regimented bam, bam. You know, it makes it stale. It causes me to not be who I am. So lots of times Fernando would say, okay, I'm going to cut. We'll start with the click track, but I'm going to cut it off right in here. And, you know, speeds up, slows down, whatever. The Rolling Stones, Honky Tonk Women or whatever, it starts off, I don't know how many beats per minute. At the end, you know, I just don't think if the song is the same thing the whole way through, it has the same kind of feel. It's like Grateful Dead couldn't go into the studio and make a recording, you know? Mm-hmm. So Fernando was awesome about letting me not
Bobby,
making me lock on the click track.
Bobby, have you ever tried to make a solo record?
No, I haven't. I've fooled around with some ideas. Filled up a couple of computers with music, but I did like 7 or 8 tunes while I was under contract with Bearsville, and those were vocals, you know, singing and playing horn as well. But I've never released anything. Maybe I should talk to Fernando.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be safe to say to make a album, CD, whatever we call them these days, of 23 songs. I mean, it's pretty impressive. It's because a lot of people just haven't done it. It's a lot of work.
Well, he you know, this is something that's been a long time coming. You know, Dode deserves this, and you know, he booked the time, and we were very you know, we got a lot done. So we just kept on doing tune after tune after tune after tune. And some of this stuff was written while he was there. I mean, there's songs where the lyrics are literally about, you know, taking the Uber from the hotel to the studio, you know.
Well, I also have my audio, video, and degree, you know, from Full Sail, and I worked with Guns N' Roses out there and stuff, and I've been in the studio environment, so I know what works and what doesn't, and what burns up time, and what's a waste of time. And so, you know, having these songs in the can for so long, and then also having the studio experience of working with other people made it work a lot faster and smoother. And it was only Trace and Fernando and I. It's not like a whole lot of, and God bless Trace. He's got the patience of Job, you know, he's just trial by baptism. Okay, this is how the song goes. Just like Bobby. Okay, here you go. Play on it. Do your best.
Yeah.
So, there was a lot of pre-production in a way because of the time that the songs were in the can and already written, and I had played them over and over and over live in all kind of situations in hometown crowds and stuff. And then my studio experience, and then Fernando's studio, what can you say? I mean, he's fantastic at it, working the software, pointing and clicking and telling me do this, don't do that. And then Trace and I just backing up and letting Fernando go into his cauldron and do his thing, and not be saying, well, how about, you know, not doing all the things that make it, you didn't get nothing done today. You worked all day trying to get a guitar sound, you know, something like that.
Not that way. Yeah. I like to spend the time actually working on getting the right vibe and getting the tunes together and keeping the momentum going, because we have a lot of stuff to work on, you know, and we did great.
Fernando said, you know, if you come out here now, you know, I got some time, whatever, I give you a good deal. He said, how many songs you think? I said, well, I'll be lucky if we get 10. before I ever went to LA. And we just kept pounding them out like a factory. And so 23.
Yeah.
Well, see, the
Well, here's
factory.
the
I
thing
got
is
it. Can I say something?
Absolutely.
And kudos to Fernando and his production skills. He's very, very talented. And the reason I know this is because when they sent me the tracks, they sounded finished, minus the icing that they made room for me to play. So that makes it super easy for people to do this kind of recording where they kind of send it to somebody to have them do. Or even for that matter, if you bring somebody into a studio, you stick them in an isolation booth. If everything, all the pieces are already there, all the sounds and the cues for the person to build off of, it creates a fire in your head when you're playing. Because I mean, all the chords are there, the bass is distinct, the tempo's correct, stuff isn't all jumbly. Just sounded great. So I could go on, but I'll stop. He did a great job.
Oh, thank you. And you know, I this is something I'm very proud of, and I was telling someone today, it's like even after I retire from performing, I want to be producing until the day I die, because that's truly what the biggest joy I get from my job is seeing people light up when they hear their songs that they brought in on an acoustic guitar or a piano suddenly sound like ready for radio, you know?
Yeah.
Chris Mel, did you have a question for Dode?
I had a question for Bobby from the chat room.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a while ago, and you guys just keep talking. I can't get a word in. This was from Kelly, and she asked, Bobby, if you have another book coming out. First of all, I did not know there was a first book. So do
I think
tell.
she's talking about Todd's book, maybe. Is it Todd's book?
Well, I don't know. I'll get back to you.
I don't know about a book either. All right, so
No, I don't have any books out. I have the Strictly Diaspora, but
how about a comic book?
yeah,
Somebody. Hey, so Bobby,
I think she's thinking about
Bobby.
Todd's book.
Yeah.
Todd's book. Okay.
Fernando and Bobby, let me ask this: take financial out of it. If you had a choice, it's dead even financially. Would you prefer to make a CD in a studio or do what you're doing with this CD?
Wait.
Is there a difference? You know, like Bobby sending it in and making it convenient for him. Is that?
Oh, wait. Hold on, because this was recorded in a studio. Oh, you're talking about
like he could be there with you and Dode versus sending in his.
Well, okay. Look, obviously, in a perfect world, everybody recording in the same room, like Nearly Human, is the best way to do it, or like, the way that they set up on stage and did in Second Wind. But honestly, there is upsides and downsides to every technique. One of the best things about sending tracks remotely is you get the best track, and you don't, you get the artist's approved track, as opposed to when you're there working with somebody, there's lots of like ins and outs. And like, there's something that over the pandemic, I actually forgot what it was like to get stopped by someone. Like, I'll be laying down a guitar in front of somebody and they could go, "Hey, that's not what I want." But
and that is a mood killer, man, right, Fernando? Doesn't that just like, it crushes you?
No, it is a mood killer. And my favorite thing is when I send in something that is what I feel the song needs, and the artist agrees. Or, worst case scenario, let's say, can you try something else? Which I kind of prefer, because it is pretty awful when you're sitting there laying down something that's pretty awesome and they say, "Stop the tape or pause it." No, that's not what I want. Try this, or try this guitar. Or, hey, why don't you do something more like, I hate it. Here's the worst part. What? Something more like this.
Maybe some bands would have stayed together longer if they wouldn't have had to record together in studio, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Van Halen would still be touring with David Lee Roth. Who knows? Right?
Funny thing happened this weekend. So I've made 2 records with Carmine apiece, and on Sunday's rehearsal, that was the first time we ever played a note together. Because we made 2 records remotely, and then we rehearsed, And we're like, wait a minute, this is the first time we've ever played together. And Carmine's like, you're pretty good live. I'm like, no shit. You know, it's really funny. It's kind of like if a marriage started from like, you know, Zoom, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're pretty good looking in person. You know? Oh, that's what the
Oh. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's
It
changed the
is,
industry a
real
lot. I
quickly,
mean,
it is about the love and the camaraderie that Fernando and Trace and I had. And we were there together, and we were going out to eat pizza, and we were going to drink beer, and we were going down to Canner's Deli. You know, it all becomes part of, you know, we're happy, we're good together. You know, we're having a good time. We're feeling like, oh, we're doing something special.
it was pretty magical.
That feel is awesome. And that's kind of what I was good at making Guns N' Roses feel. They were like, when Dode's here, he gets everything just right, and a magic starts happening, and it ends up on the record.
Dode,
The
hypnotizing
atmosphere,
Axl
right,
Rose.
Bobby?
We could've
And,
kept them
and it's
together.
the
Right.
antithesis of that sucks. Don't do that anymore.
So did Trace ever weigh in and say, I think y'all need to do this something different?
Oh, no. If anything, Trace was always like, are you sure this is good? You know, this is fun. I'm like, yeah, it sounds great, dude. You know, Trace Trace is a great player, but he was definitely like, you know, of all of us, he was the one that was like, you know, probably like the most like, what's going on? You know, like it was definitely a new experience for him, but he definitely held his own. He did great, and man, there's some stuff on the record that he did that blows my mind. Like on that song Tesla, he's going nuts. He's doing this like cool polyrhythmic thing that sounds like Les Claypool. It sounds great.
Yeah. Funky
Hey, we
Groove and Tesla. I came in, I said, all right, all I got is words. You guys got to make up a funky groove. Or, you know, Tesla, all I got is words. You guys got to make up the music that I rap on top of. And they just boom. So that's nothing to do with me. Those two songs are all Fernando and Trace.
All
That's cool.
right.
All right. So we have another guest that's about to join us. The second musician in the group that knows how to use horizontal versus vertical. I'm just messing with y'all. Here we go. Prairie Prince, welcome to the party.
Oh, man. There he is.
Hey,
Like the
Brad.
bandana, man.
You know what? I have to defend myself. I have always been a person for horizontal. Take the ticket whatever way you want. But I recently got reprimanded by a promotion company.
Ooh.
I spent an hour shooting videos, and they said, we can't use any of this. I'm like, what are you talking about? You shot it horizontal. I'm like, that's the way to do it. And they're like, we can't put any of this on TikTok.
Oh, TikTok. So
So
be
now
banned anyway.
I trained myself to do vertical because I got literally yelled at.
Mr. Prince, where are you right now?
Well,
Chicago?
you can see out my beautiful window. I'm in.
Hey, is that the illustrious drummer of the Gilmore Project?
That would be me. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm on tour with the Gilmore Project with Chasm and Scott Guberman and Jeff Pivar and Mark Kieran, and we're having a good tour so far. But we just drove from. We played in Pittsburgh last night. Anyway, that's outside is Rockford, Illinois.
Oh, Rockford.
Hey.
Been
Been
done
there?
that. Mhm.
Yeah.
We are actually playing in outside of Chicago in Arcata.
Evanston? No, that's not Evanston.
Arcata on Saturday night, but we have tonight off. We just got here. I'm sorry, I'm running a little late on this
No worries.
thing, and but I've been watching you guys in the car, and I was going to jump in, but it was too loud in the car, and now I'm just holding my cell phone. I don't really have any other way. I don't have
We appreciate you coming in.
my normal thing is. Oh wait, I'm going to put it up on my mirror. Maybe that'll work.
St. Charles. Here's St. Charles.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
This is awesome, man. Hanging out with Prairie in his hotel room.
Yeah.
That's
It's
rocking.
glorious Hampton Inn too. It's
We
fabulous.
get a lot tearing the hotel room apart like a real drummer.
I'm gonna put on my hat. Here's what my hat says.
Something over.
Here's what my hat
Something
says.
over.
San Fran. Oh.
Wait, what? Is
Yeah, man.
Can't say it on the air.
Wait, is this what are you doing?
A gift from
Hey, it's allowed.
Mr. Danny O'Connor.
That's Danny gave you that?
Cool.
He probably made it. It's
No,
funny.
I think it's an official Giants thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mm.
Starter. Excellent.
Anyway, we're talking to Dode now, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, Bo. I love you.
Good
I
to see
left my heart in San Francisco.
You can't say that on the air. Well, I
Yeah,
guess
you
Dode
can.
Dode can. Okay.
So Prairie, you're on 2 songs on this one. Bamboo Ben, right? And
Bamboo Ben, yeah, it's kind of a reggae thing, sort of a
Yeah.
rock steady thing that Dode was like ripping it up. Loved it.
Yeah.
Same thing with the file share. It's almost, Fernando already had a great drum track going along with it. We just pulled Fernando's drum track down, send it over to Prairie, and he goes to his good guy that he's got and sets up and does a fantastic job. I like the whatever that thing is.
Color Ratchet.
Okay, Ratchet.
Vibrant.
I thought like knowing farm tools the way you would know what that was about.
About to be my new daughter-in-law. That's like a slang term for cool or something. Ratchet.
Yeah,
or ghetto or
Racket.
something. That was ratchet.
Not a sex tool. But yeah, anyway, my friend and engineer Chris Von Snyderen did, I thought, an excellent job of recording my drums for both those tracks. And we recorded at his studio called Tape Vault, giving him a little plug. And he's been working with me on lots of different projects. And we have that kind of hillbilly band called Who Grass together, where we do all Who songs, but we add some some bluegrass instruments to the arrangements and stuff. It's been fun over the years. So that's my buddy Chris. So he was the engineer on that and helped with the passing those files across the internet.
Nice. Did you say bluegrass? That's your thing? Y'all doing bluegrass?
Not my
Bluegrass.
thing. Well, the band was called Who Grass. But
Who-grass?
It was bluegrass versions of Who songs.
All right.
So
Like we did Pinball Wizard Johnny Cash style.
what about Eminent Front? Could you do that bluegrass? Eminence Front? I'd like to hear some of that.
Yeah, well, it's you can check it out on hardlystrictlybluegrass.com, and you go to their web archives and you look up Whograss
Whograss.
or Prairie Prince performs Tommy.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
I'll check it
Super.
out.
Check that out.
Yeah, pretty cool. It's the free festival they have in Golden Gate Park every fall, early fall.
Yeah.
Well, Doug, ask Prairie what Dode told you to do when he sent you the track. How did he tell you how to play the drums?
Why do I gotta ask? You just did.
That's what you were asking Bobby. Like,
Prairie, do you know that Prairie and Bobby, we're all here like what is it?
you don't have to tell these guys a thing. You send them the track. I mean, good Googa Mooga.
Just tell them don't play too much, but get it on there. Get it on there. We know what Dode likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a hard rocking mother.
He's got some ballads on here, though, we've been told. We're going to check those out later.
I haven't heard those yet. I like that love song you just played. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
There you go, Bobby.
So tell me about that, Doe. Are you getting married? Are you already married or what?
Yeah, everybody in town was giving me hell. All the old guys down at the watering hole.
I heard the story.
Yeah.
But did you get married yet or not?
Hell yeah. And I've been married for 33 years.
Oh,
And all those guys are dead. So there you go.
Okay.
Just because their marriages was miserable doesn't mean mine was gonna be. That's all I'm saying.
Well, good luck to you then for the next 30.
I love you, buddy, and I so appreciate you doing that for me. And I thought these two songs especially there's a storm outside. I kept telling Fernando, this is my favorite song on the whole record. I don't know why. You know, my dad dying of cancer, COVID-19, chicken farm stress or whatever. I want Prairie on that one. Because Fernando already had 2 fantastic drum tracks that would have been just wonderful. So once again, you have to tell Fernando, sorry.
Hold on a second.
I'm not saying sorry to Fernando. I'm saying thank you, Fernando. And you know, your guitar playing on that was just incredibly psychedelic and stellar. I love it so much.
I love it.
I'm not buying that he had drum tracks.
Oh, Fernando played drums
No.
on every track.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
He's a drummer.
That's good. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The drums were fine. I thought, what do I need to do these for?
Yeah,
But you know,
drum machine I own, storage was made in 1972, and it sounds like. No, man, I can't. You know what? I totally have so much. I have so much respect for people like Todd that can sit there and like program stuff, because it takes so much longer than getting your ass on a drum kit and laying down a freaking drum track. But it's an art form, and some people have taken it to new lengths. I mean, some of the dubstep stuff and some of the like super crazy EDM stuff where they chop stuff up, and you know, then there's this whole new drum style where actual drummers are influenced by programmers, like guys like Chris Daddy Dave and all these like new funk guys on the YouTube that have that whole thing where they put like cymbals on the drums and they make their drums sound like drum machines. But I just come from the old school world where it's like there's something about the sound of like miking up a drum kit in a room and feeling that sheer volume, you know.
yeah. Well, you know, Todd
The Hall and Oates drum set. The Hall and Oates drum set, correct?
Yeah, correct. Well, yeah, that's the main drum set on the album is Eddie Zine's old drum set. Gretsch stop sign kit from '75 that was on the Hall and Oates tours in the '70s. But no, go Prairie. I want to hear what you have.
Oh, well, I was just going to say that Todd Rundgren is, you know, no stranger to that. He started recording his own drum sets, you know, back in the 60s or 70s, early 70s, by himself, you know. He would, he told me this, I couldn't believe it, but he would just mic up the drum set. He would go back in the control room, start the tape, walk out, and then play the drum track. And then come, you know, just to nothing, just his memory of what he thinks the song is going to be built like. And that blew my mind, because, and when you go back and listen to that stuff, you hear a pretty, you know, convincing drum track. You're not sure if it was the right one, but then he built onto it and it became the right one.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then he was the godfather of drum machines. I mean, starting all that stuff so long ago.
Yeah.
And programming, and then recently, you know, just programming all of his own drum track in his living room in Kauai on his computer.
Yeah.
And he does a pretty convincing job, I think.
And he's
great sound.
Great Prince.
And then I have to learn the parts that he did, right? learn. And if I try to embellish on them, he'll give me the eyeball a little bit. So, you know, you can have fun with this, but not too much fun, okay? Just play it the way I did it.
Are you Prairie on this Gilmore project? I kind of doubt it, but you getting to do a drum solo?
I get to do it as long a drum solo as I want. Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Which
actually, two or three actually.
Really? So you do like get into it?
I do one that's called, it's kind of like the Grateful Dead. They have a section that is kind of in the middle. We do all of the Dark Side of the Moon, the first set. So we usually do 2-hour sets with a break in the middle. And then in the middle of Dark Side of the Moon, they kind of go into a spaced out part where I can do a drum solo. And then I ask Scott Guberman, the keyboard player, to join in, and we do a thing together. It's a lot of fun. And then in the song called Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun, there's a whole section in there where everything kind of stops and I get to do drum solo in that. I mean, it just kind of goes back and forth like that. But I mean, the whole set feels like a drum solo to me. I'm playing Nick Mason's parts, you know, and I'm trying to embellish them. And it's tough. He was a great drummer. He was really a great drummer, but it was a lot different style than I have known in my life. And so I've kind of tried to channel Nick Mason, and it's interesting.
Who were some of the heroes that made you want to be a drummer, Prairie?
What's that?
Who were some of the heroes that made you want to be a drummer?
Let's see. I mean, my dad was a big jazz fan when he, back in the 30s and stuff. And I grew up listening to a lot of his jazz records when I was younger. And then I sort of went on the surf train, and I became, sort of the Ventures and Dick Dale and that kind of stuff. And I loved surf drumming. Sandy Nelson.
Oh, yeah.
He had a record called Let There Be Drums. And that was my first, why I got to do a drum solo. And I wanted to be like that. So those guys were big fans. Yeah, I was big fans of them. But then, then the English invasion came with the Beatles and the Stones, and then Cream and Zeppelin and stuff. So all those drummers were big influences on me as well. Frank Zappa's drummers. I love Frank Zappa. There's a million drummers that influence. We all influence each other in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Gene Krupa.
Yeah, well, Gene Krupa, he was part of that whole jazz, big band jazz style. That
You always had an explosive sound.
He did.
With the tubes and you've done some insane stuff, and you always have a great sound. You always the general sound that you have, the way you tune your kit, the way you play, it's always awesome, dude.
Thank you.
Great. How did you?
I'll try to keep it up for another 20 or 30.
That'll work. Tony Bennett. Hey, how did you get into the Gilmore project? Was you in it first, Chasm in it first? How did y'all get that worked out?
No, it was a concept by the guy that I used to. His name is Michael Gaiman, and he used to manage and book the Jefferson Starship. So I had been working with him since the early 90s. Mm-hmm. And he's had several different sort of tribute ideas that have come along in the past 10, 15 years. The first one was called Blue Floyd, and he did he got Mark Ford from the Black Crowes. He got Barry Oakley Jr., son of Barry Oakley from the Allman Brothers, and they put together a band of Pink Floyd covers, but sort of stretched out jam style, blues style. So they call it Blue Floyd. And the drummer for that was Matt Apps.
Yes.
From Government Mule, yeah. And so Matt couldn't show up at one show one time, so they asked me to do it. And it was right after 9/11, I remember. And he called me up. He goes, "It's going to be a big benefit in Erie, Pennsylvania for the Fireman Fund, and all the proceeds will go to the Fireman's Fund." And so I sat in with those guys and took Matt's place for one night, and I really liked the idea. I had a great time. And almost 20 years later, I mean, it's been a long time, 15 years later, he came to me and said, "Well, trying to put together another Floyd kind of tribute. We want to call it the Gilmore Project. And do you know any bass players?" And I went, maybe Captain.
Maybe.
So that's how that came about. And Chasm came on board, and he's doing some great stuff. He's not. I don't think he's too used to in the jam circuit really, but he's stepping up to the plate, and he's like the song One of These Days, and he just does this long bass solo and real powerful stuff. And he's been singing really great. He's singing "Wish You Were Here." He's singing "Breathe." I mean, he's just beautiful.
It blows my mind whenever I see interviews with him that he says that when he first joined Utopia, he was not a prog guy at all. He was
I mean that was kind of some jamming stuff. I think they had their stuff worked out, but
if you listen to what he was doing at the time that he joined Utopia, he was kind of like an Emmett Rhodes.
He forgot.
Beatles guy, and then
He's been in so many pop bands ever since. He's forgotten that that's what he did.
He did some solo with the Blue Oyster Cult. He was doing a jam solo.
There's some
on bass.
jam stuff in the Blue
Yeah.
Oyster Cult. They jam.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's talking about.
But
My favorite solo he ever did is the solo he did on the Icon on the Japan the Utopia Reunion '92 album. It was just a combination of the bass he was using or whatever he was doing. That's one of the best bass solos I've ever heard, and he's so in the pocket too. Because that's the cool thing is there's a lot of Here's a general statement about Utopia. The thing I love about them being a prog guy is that actually this goes with Tubes too. You know, the thing about prog is that there's a lot of prog music that doesn't groove. It's very mechanical. It's very like that. The thing that always blew my mind about, especially like the early Todd Rundgren's Utopia with Siegler, and then with everything, is that these guys weren't prog guys to begin with, but they were suddenly had all this music put in their hands, and you know, Siegler was like a Jamerson guy. You know, Chasm's a McCartney guy. You know, Willie came from a jazz background. These are all musicians that were put into this situation of having to play this like complex music, but they had groove. And when you hear, you know, Prairie and Chasm play together, it's such a great sound. You guys groove like crazy together, man. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a favorite bass player. I have a lot of bass players that play with. Chasm is, you know, at least number 1.5. You know, I love Chasm. We never have to look at each other unless we want to.
Yeah,
and we do want to. I mean, look at each other.
TMI.
Okay. Play
I
Bamboo Ben.
I wanted to mention one other thing, and that is our lighting director is Hans Shoup, and he also does lights for Todd.
Yeah.
And I got to say that his collaboration with this whole project is just incredible. Interstellar is just unbelievable.
He goes way.
Give a shout out to Hans Shoup.
Han's great. He worked with Howard, who did Rush for years. Han is very experienced and did a ton of Todd stuff. People probably saw him at those shows. But I got one question I want to ask you right quick, and then we're going to play Bamboo Ben that you were on the song on Dode CD.
Oh, yeah.
When you do these tribute shows like this, is it something where you have to be a fan of that band? Are you willing just to play with whatever? I mean, do you like Pink Floyd a lot? Is that
I gotta say that I was a big Pink Floyd, not big Pink Floyd fan, but I loved Pink Floyd back in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and was always turned on to their space visions and Atom Heart Mother, and some of those early songs I was big fans with. And then over the years, I've always loved Pink Floyd. I never was a giant fan, and when I started learning this material to play it, I thought I'm enjoying playing a lot more than I thought I would. You know, I'm really enjoying it, especially because the band members that are playing it, I'm playing it with, are just so good, and it's so much fun to play with them, playing this music with them.
So Bobby hadn't said a word in a minute. Bobby, you want to say hello to Prairie?
Hi, Bobby.
Hey, Prairie.
Hi.
How you doing, man? Good seeing you.
I'm good. Good to see you.
Bandmates, getting the band back together.
I saw him. He came to my birthday party last week, and I don't know where you were, but I thought you were going to come up and jam with us, but I lost track of you.
I went and played with Mark Karen in Nevada.
Oh,
He'd asked me to
traitor,
play.
you traitor. Just kidding.
So that was a fun day, man. I wanted to get up there. You guys were like, how late did you guys play?
The cops came at midnight.
Ha! That's a great song. That's a great song.
That's early, man.
Dude,
That was a little early, but then
There was so many.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's so many interesting people there. I met Bill Graham's number 2 man.
Jerry Pompili. Yeah,
Jerry
Pompili.
Yeah,
Pompili.
And Jerry and Mike came to the Mark Karen show. We all went there and I played.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to go home. It was getting late for him. But we went and did that, and then I wanted to come back, but it was already after midnight. I didn't think you guys would be going.
No worries. Well, let's talk about Dode some more.
Yeah, let's Dode. I do have a question for Dode.
I'm only saying play the song because I need to go to the refrigerator and get another beer.
But hey,
that's all I'm saying. I need to go get another beer.
I got a quick question for you first.
Prairie, and he can talk all night long. I listen to him all night long.
I gotta go eat. I just walked in the door. I haven't even had dinner yet.
Yeah. So Bamboo Ben, do you remember? I don't know if you remember this. You know, there was a little crazy drama with him and Michelle over this Tiki and Easy thing. Is that part of this song, or is this song all?
No. That bad relationship hadn't evolved.
Ain't got nothing to do with it.
When I wrote this song, and I sort of feel like, oh gosh, this might be like, bringing something back to the surface that's already been buried. But I can't help that, I had written it already, and it existed, and it was all happy-go-lucky kind of thing, and I still like it. So I just think they need to get over it and move on.
All right, so this is Bamboo Ben with Dode and Prairie Prince, correct?
And Fuzzby Morris is playing like a Jimi Hendrix electric solo. He was Lou Reed's guitar player.
Okay.
And it's awesome.
Lou Reed. All right, here we go.
Tell me, have you seen a man go bamboo Ben? He bamboo Ben. He bamboo Ben. He makes the tiki bar to have the party in. Party in. The party in. I search a high low for him again and again. Again and again. Again and again. Yeah, tell me, have you seen a man go bamboo Ben? He bamboo Ben. He bamboo Ben. Don't get sucked out to sea. 'Cause special lady wants to lead us in through therapy. Jump in the Queen's Band with CLB and Kurt Costello, he's gonna show you where the barracuda lives. 5 kind of rum, yeah, your head gonna spin. Head gonna spin, your head's gonna spin. 5 kind of rum, yeah, your head gonna spin. Your head gonna spin, your head gonna spin. Man, tell me, have you seen a man go bamboo Ben? He bamboo Ben, he bamboo Ben. He makes the tiki bar to have the party in. The party in, the party in. Take me to the Honolulu Bay. Show me where the whales, they love to play. Herding cats, so they say. State your vows here and now. Forever and always. Got the pretty mama, yeah, she fit and trim. She fit and trim. She fit and trim. I got the pretty mama, yeah, she fit and trim. She fit and trim. She fit and trim. Ever have seen a man go bamboo Ben? He bamboo Ben. He bamboo Ben. Yeah, make the tiki bar to have the party in. The party in. The party in. Share a cottage with me. Amy, Dawn, Cheryl, and Alan Mursky. We're gonna learn some botany. Wondrous, Rockstaricus, Sativum,
go. It sounds like it could be a live version of that song almost. That's so good.
Did that not sound a little bit like Robert Smith of The Cure singing?
No.
Yes, it did.
It sounded like like you were at a concert. It was the good stuff. Great drums, great guitar, all good.
Good vocals.
For me, anyway. Good
Thank
vocals,
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And as they say in Japan, don't want gotta.
There it is. How'd you like it, Prairie? You like your final version?
I do. Yeah, I
Have you
liked
done
it. That was great. I loved it. You say Bamboo Ben how many times?
A lot.
No.
Trivia.
Is this a game? Do we have to drink every time he says Bamboo Ben?
I think we need to count it off and someone gets a prize so they know the right number.
Yeah, it's like guessing the jelly bean.
I had told Fernando I could probably try to do like a little Jamaican accent. He said, "No, Dode, just sing it like Dode. Just sing it like Dode." I said, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That was good advice.
Leave that Jamaican thing to Todd.
Bamboo Ben's not Jamaican, is he?
No.
No, but you sing, what is it? Play on the drum, bang on the drum all day. He sounded like somebody from somewhere else, didn't he?
So who did the artwork on the cover?
Which cover?
That would be Trace Tedrick, the bass player from Seattle.
Oh, for real? Okay.
We were in the hotel room together, and I just knew Trace had a wonderful attitude, and I've met him over the last decade, and every time we got together, he was just so positive and so wonderful and so easy to get along with. That's more important to me than how great of a musician you are. You're going to be able to get along with this person in a situation where it can get, aggravating and that kind of stuff. So anyway, we're in the hotel room there in North Hollywood, and he pulls out this portfolio, this big old booklet. He says, "Dode, check out these things." And I said, "Oh my gosh, Tracy, fantastic, I said, "I didn't have any idea that you were an artist, sketch artist or whatever." And I said, "You need to draw the album cover, just trying to include everybody in the project and make everybody feel like they're involved in it." And he said, "Dode, you're going to inspire me to go home and get my easel out and, dust it off and get everything going. I haven't drawn anything in a really, really long time. You're going to make me get back into it." And I said, "Awesome." So,
yeah. Well, it's really, now I want to see the cover again, but what is hanging off of the Longhorn's horn?
a lot of people have asked that.
Is that a pair of panties?
Well, I think that's a G string.
Oh,
So
okay.
it does fall into the panty category.
It does.
Not in my house.
But it's not, and I told Trace, I said, "You just do whatever you want to do." Just like I told Bobby, you play whatever you want to play. I told Prairie, you play whatever you want to play. I never told Fernando, maybe every now I said, "Well, Fernando," I never told Fernando, "Wait a minute, I think you can do a little bit better on that one." It's like, just elated to have everybody helping me make this, dream come true. So just happy.
It's a great track.
So that's
I love
all
that
Trace. It
track.
has nothing to do with me. And I wasn't gonna ever say, "Dude, what's that hanging on the horn?" Oh no, you got to take that off.
Bobby, were you about to do a solo for us? I saw you getting the.
No.
Well,
Yeah, I had to touch it. I've been playing all day, and it's habit, I think.
Give us some action, no?
hey, the
Hey, you know what?
the-
You asked me earlier. You asked Fernando and me earlier about what we prefer as far as recording in a studio or at home.
Yeah.
Bouncing these tracks around, and I just wanted to answer that. I really like being able to record at home. I have Pro Tools, and I have a pretty good mic, and I know how to use it, and I enjoy that aspect because it's just so much more relaxing. And I think that's kind of what Fernando was driving at.
no pressure.
And, no pressure. And, you can work on it if it's not going right, I can put my horn down and walk away and go eat or come back to it the next day. and it'll be there. Or in the case of in Dode's tune, there was a note that just wasn't coming out right at the end that I had to hold for a long time, and it wasn't coming out of that horn that day for some reason. Something wasn't sealing correctly, so I picked up one of my other saxophones and used that, and it popped right out. You know, to be able to have different instruments at your disposal is important.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
And time doesn't matter. When we're in the studio, a lot of times, you know, this guy's paying however much it is per hour, and there's like a certain amount of stress involved to produce and get something out for them. And I've been in a studio where it's like you're trying to do something and they want you to do something and they're saying, no, that's not right. Do it again. No, that's not right. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. You play the same damn 3 bars for, 35, 40 minutes, and it's just not working. And that's a drag.
I could imagine like you when you did Second Wind, you got Todd looking at you, everybody else looking at you. You got an audience looking at you. It's super quiet and you're having to perform versus being able to do it in your home. I can see what you're saying. It's got to be much better, more relaxing.
Yeah, it's Second Wind, but that one was we just basically played the tunes start to stop many, many times. And then we graded ourselves on paper and for Todd, I gave myself an A on that one or whatever, and then turned all those in, and God, sorting all that out for Todd must have been a pain in the ass, but he did it. And found the best tracks.
So I'd like to know why you said you thought that the first recording you did was Nearly Human when we already did all that recording before with Second Wind.
Was it Nearly Human before?
Nearly Human.
Before Prairie.
Nearly Human was first.
Oh, it was, wasn't it? Wow. See, that's how screwed up I am.
Right.
It's all good, man.
No, wow.
Oh, okay. Because I played drums on Feel It too. That was me on the drum.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And Randy Jackson on bass.
Randy Jackson.
Randy Jackson on bass.
Good old Randy Jackson. Jean-Luc Ponty.
So I just got to show you drawing. I got to show you drawing. I just did a bamboo bin while you guys were talking.
All right.
Get it in the camera better.
Hey, right on time. We're making the artwork for the actual physical. We could put that in. Look at that guy.
That's awesome,
That looks exactly like him.
It's got the Texas Longhorns going.
Dude, you're awesome.
You got the horn. Got the horns. You got the drink. What else?
I love it. That's
what else you need?
Now, Prairie, your tiki bar you designed all on your own, right? You didn't need a bamboo bin, did you?
Well, I had a little help from Fred Flintstone's construction company.
Well, yeah.
But I pretty much had to, adjusted all the details myself over the COVID years.
Yeah, I remember getting to see it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The guys got to come out to my house and have a party.
Yeah,
let's have a
that
Rundgren
TV
radio.
bar is amazing.
Rundgren radio party at Prairie's house. We'll be good with that.
In San Fan, whatever on the
Prairie
hat.
stock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey,
do.
all this talk about the album cover led to something that I actually had to ask. Dode, why don't you explain the album title?
Well, when Trace and I met each other at the first camp in 2011, he was over on the side of the stage and he said, "Dude, I recorded all your stuff that you did in front of Todd on my little recorder. I got it for you. I'm going to get it back to you." We were all like pinching ourselves to see whether we were dreaming or not, because we were just couldn't believe we were in that close proximity to Todd Rundgren. We were up on the same stage with him. We were hanging out all week long. I mean, it was just like, couldn't believe it was true, And so he said, "Dode, you're a diamond cutter." And I said, "What?" He said, "You're a diamond cutter." And I said, "Okay, I don't know exactly what you mean, but I'll take that as a compliment and whatever." So through the next decade, whenever we would see each other, which was lots of times, Rundgren events and stuff, and everything, I'd say, "Hey, diamond cutter, you're the diamond cutter." Okay, diamond cutter. It just became an ongoing theme. And then when I told him, draw the art for the album, and you got it, whatever you want to do. And I didn't say, this is going to be the title. I didn't say that. And Fernando said, you need to call it Overload or Dode or Overdode.
No,
or
the Overdode. I said,
Overdode.
my two titles were The Overdode and A Wizard of True Dode.
Well, I said, a lot of people said Fernandode. And I said, no, that don't include trace. And I said, how about traces of Fernandode? So you're trying to name it, and it's going to be stuck with it for life or whatever. And a lot, so just call it Dode. Just call it Dode. Just call it Dode. I said, I don't want it to be just me, because it's me and Fernando and Trace, and it's all these other people. I don't want it to be all about me. And so there was no official, this is what it's going to be called. And Trace drew the artwork, and there it was in there, Diamond Cutter. So,
Yeah.
I went with it.
I was just surprised because it's like, again, this was like an inside thing between you and Trace. And all of a sudden I get this album cover and I'm like, first of all, it was overwhelming because it's striking. It's got a little bit of it's got my studio in the corner. You're riding this bull and you got the panties and all this craziness. And then all of a sudden I see Diamond Cutter. I'm like, what? Huh?
Fernando's like, is that 2 words? I said, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. That was funny because Cutter is together on the cover, but then every time I Googled it, it's Diamond Cutter. So it's like, it led to a lot of beard scratching for sure. But hey,
how about the Dode mode?
Dode mode.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that could be your second album.
That'll be great. Bobby, you got it. So
entering the Dode mode.
Entering the
like
Dode mode.
Show.
The Dode mode. The Dode mode on the Platinum Tour.
Or the sexy album.
Yeah.
The sexy album, Dode Hard and Put Away Wet.
Well, I of course, I Googled Diamond Cutter, and the first thing that popped up was slang for a guy having a hard early morning erection.
Whoa!
Oh my!
I woke up this morning with a diamond cutter.
I'm not listening.
And then second was, it's a wrestling move by some famous wrestler, so and so the Diamond Guy. It's a wrestling move. If you Google it, that's what pops up first. It's not like a guy who can take something and make something out of nothing.
I thought that was called Morning Wood. Morning Wood.
Yeah.
Norwegian wood.
I know, but I looked up Diamond Cutter in Urban Dictionary. Diamond Cutter is a very hard erection. That Viagra has to be a diamond cutter.
So I think I'm willing to have double entendre.
Oh, yeah. Now, you know what? You guys are watching me finally like this album cover.
That's why the panties are on the horn, right?
Who knows what's in Trace's mind? It's okay.
Whoa!
You're gonna blame Trace?
Yeah.
Urban Dictionary definition number 3. A diamond cutter is porn slang for a male performer who's able to maintain a hard erection throughout the entire scene. So that actually works because Dode is man, he is on it for 23 songs.
23 songs.
It's not a minute. Dode is not
23 gems.
This used to be a family show.
Well, then he had the guy who's in the car. The car is an advertisement where the guy is cutting a diamond in the back of that car. It's an actual advertisement. So,
guys, I'm gonna just post
that all comes from Trace. I don't take any responsibility for that.
This link in the chat.
Just trying to let everybody bring something to the table and participate. And I'm easy. I'm not getting.
Did you really just to go exactly as planned? It's Dode's damn party. Last time I partied with Dode, there was like 15 women in the freaking bathroom, in the shower.
Yes.
And they all had their clothes on.
Yes.
Oh.
Let's talk
Hey-
about the next
hey,
song.
Hey, Dode,
What do you think?
Is CLB on the CD?
I mentioned CLB. Jump in the Queen's Bath with CLB on the Bamboo Ben song, but no, she's not singing on the song. But she is very integral in my relationship with the Tom Rugner fan community. And she always said she wanted to be my agent, so she's got it. You know, whatever. My manager, she can be my Mary Lou Arnold.
Well, she's giving me hell about playing some music, so let's play something.
Yeah,
all right?
let's play. There's a Storm Outside, which is Prairie's second track, which is kind of about COVID-19. It's about losing my dad to cancer, and it's about the chickens dying and the insurance company not paying. All kind of, came in there all at once. And then Fernando's going, all right, what else you got? What else you got? What else you got? I said, well, I got this little piece of song. It's not really finished. Then I played it for him. He's like, oh, Dode, oh my gosh, this is going to be great. And it was like the most unfinished thing that I brought to LA. And it became my favorite one. And Durga McBroom from Pink Floyd, I said, Fernando, I would like to get, a background singer on there. And he said, how about Durga McBroom from Pink Floyd? I said, are you kidding me?
Wow.
I can get her? Absolutely. And so we got her for 5 songs and the PayPal and sent her the money. And she sang on 5 songs. But
is this a ballad-like song, or is
he
it?
Said, Fernando said, he texted me one day and he said, chills.
Yeah.
Chills.
No, look, this song sounds like U2 in a stadium. This song is like
Red Rocks.
He could have his arms out like this. There's a storm outside. It's huge. And
Prairie, I say
Prairie
storm outside
like,
2 more times than Bamboo Ben.
Y'all ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Here we go.
Everybody turn up loud.
Crank it up.
Ready?
Even though the sky is blue,
Wow.
Wow.
Trippy. I
That's
like
a damn good one right there.
Prairie, that's like double bass with the feet.
Oh, he's
Oh,
muted.
that's like double bass with the feet there at the end.
Prairie, I'm trying to unmute. Unmute. Sounds like those Zoom days during COVID.
Sorry.
He's muted. Let's see.
They're the pillows.
Unmute.
Prairie, can you unmute yourself?
There it is. Oh,
Yes, double bass drums. Yes.
Oh, wow. That is
is that
very
Fernando
good.
on guitar?
That was Fernando on the screaming guitar.
Yeah, you can't mistake that.
Mhm.
I love that song. Hey guys, sorry. Every time we go back from a video, I lose sound for some reason. So that's why I have to jump out and jump back in. But it's all good.
all good
Yeah,
for back.
that song is a winner in every single way, and that's actually kind of like a really cool look into the more complex side of Dode's writing. I mean, that's really emotional, and he really sings his ass off on that.
It's he got a little bit of Todd sound in there. Could be on the Arena album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, his voice, your voice, Dode, sound like Todd a couple times.
Yes.
Of it.
Yeah,
Tell who you
kinda.
listen
Wow.
to.
He tried that on purpose, didn't you, Dode?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of other people, homies and stuff, not all my Todd Rundgren friends and stuff, say, "Oh, you sound like Todd there. Oh, those chords sound like Todd." I'm like, well, I'm not trying to do it, I guess, but after worshiping the guy for like 35 years, you would think probably something leaked in there.
A little bit of influence.
But watching Axel sing vocals and stuff, and being there with him, and I need some lemon and I need some honey. Wow, wow, wow. I'm not ready yet. Wow. He would have to get his voice raspy, to patch in to make it equal, match up with the stuff he'd already done a day before or a couple weeks before. He would have to get that raspy sound in his voice, like you at a ball game and you're a cheerleader or whatever else. When you scream, it gets raspy, and he'd have to scream a good bit before it would get raspy.
Really?
And so I think maybe some of the Guns N' Roses, and then certainly watching Todd, makes me say, well, I got to have a little bit of that in there.
What was it again?
Wow, he sounds like a band.
Todd said, correct me if I'm wrong, that he liked James Brown, and James Brown was the one that would do that. He was trying to copy James Brown.
Yeah, you could totally
from Augusta, Georgia.
You could totally hear Todd doing that James Brown scream on Hammer in My Heart.
On what?
On Hammer in My Heart, right before the choruses.
Yeah.
He does that James Brown thing.
Of course, awesome. I love the falsetto and the Philly soul and that whole, I love all of that, and I wish I could be able to do it. When I met Fernando on the cruise, and we were talking to the guy from Ambrosia, and I asked him, at the karaoke bar where Prairie saw me sing Frank Sinatra, That's Life, and in the chicken suit that Doug's got on his right there. Anyway, I asked him, I said, could you just sing like that normally? It's just a gift. He said, no, I had to work at it. I had to work at it really hard. So I really want to be able to have a soulful singing sound, and I really want to have that little falsetto in there every now and then. And then I also would like to have the scream too, So that's my amateur attempt at trying to scream a little bit.
Yeah.
Amateur my ass. You sound great, dude. That was a really amazing track.
Really
and
good.
I'm very proud of everything. I mean, it really sounds like you played in a stadium.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
Fernando and Trace didn't say, well, what are you doing there? We got to go back and re-record that. They didn't bat an eye when I started screaming like that. And I'm all the way out in LA, and I'm paying that money and shit, and then just running out of, no use to say it 10 times in a row the same way, so I just started screaming towards the end.
All good, man.
Bobby, what's your warm up for singing before a concert?
What's my warm up for singing?
Yeah, what do you do? You know, Todd does James Brown. What do you do to get ready? I know Chasm has that throat coat he likes to drink. You got any
I
kind of
follow
ritual?
the Prairie and where Vince Welnick, they used to do the Ming Mongs. I don't know where that came from. Prairie can talk about it. But
What?
it's this vocal exercise. It gets everything kind of going.
Ming
So
Mong.
just Ming Mong, ma, hey, ya, and going up my half steps. I'm probably doing it wrong. How do you do it, Prairie?
Is that true, Prairie?
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even sing.
Yeah. What's your vocal warm up, Prairie?
I just grunt. But no, that little exercise came through via David Foster, but it was something that he learned from Ella Fitzgerald as a warm up exercise. It's called Ming Mongs, and the MING opens up your nasal passages, and the M, gets the stuff buzzing in your head. And then the next one is Mong, Ming, Mong. And you do that twice, and then you go ma e ah, and you start low, and you go I, ah. So at the end, you're doing a Dode Prickett. But by the time you get there, your voice is warmed up enough to scream. Okay.
When are we gonna get a Prairie Prince solo album?
Ooh.
When I learn to sing.
Oh, you can. You can. You sounded good.
You should produce it, Fernando.
I got 14 tracks done.
We're gonna get a Doug Ford solo album.
Yeah, no. Prairie could do one with Fernando producing. You got Bobby on here, could be on it. Dode could be on it. Be nice.
Prairie's already got an album going.
Yes.
Is that a
I
secret?
got an album going. No, it's called Prairie Prince Passions and Colors and Passions.
Oh, cool.
I got 14 tracks done, and they're all about colors and passions, and they're mostly based around percussion instruments from around the world.
Nice.
And I've got a lot of collaborators. Bobby's played on a few songs. I've got Todd on a song. He wrote a song. We're actually I think we're gonna try to perform it soon, maybe even at Todd's stock.
Awesome.
Cool.
I didn't say that.
You hear it first.
I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get to learn it or not, but
We're all gonna buy it. We're all gonna love it. We love you,
yeah.
Prairie.
And so I'm hoping to get that out hopefully by the end of the year. I've been working on it for like over 10 years.
Oh, dude. Dude,
It's got artwork. It's got artwork to accompany it, and I'm going to try to do a different colored video for every song.
Oh, great.
That's cool. Very nice.
You're worse than Axl Rose, Bo. 10 years? Come on.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Inspired by my sister. When I was a little kid. She said, "You got to make this record about colors."
Awesome, dude.
Make it happen.
Nice.
Well, let's see if we got any questions here. Oh, who's eating potato chips? Uh-oh.
Prairie, you moving that cell phone around?
That wasn't me.
No.
I don't know.
Uh-oh, Bobby left and then came back.
It wasn't Bob. I don't think. Oh, anyway. Yeah, maybe.
I am getting hungry though. I'm gonna have to sign off here.
Prairie.
Yeah. You got a big gig tomorrow.
You did
Prairie,
great.
thanks for being on as always, man. You're always a treat. It's always a treat, man, to have you on.
You did fantastic.
We appreciate you coming by.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna do a party trial.
Always welcome to come back, Prairie.
Tiki party at Prairie Prince's house.
I love it.
Keep on.
Tell Castle we said hey.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Uh-oh. You cut him off.
Did I? No,
Sorry about that.
Prairie, come back. Prairie,
There he is.
What'd you say?
I just wanted to say one thing to Dode, and that was, Dode, do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You may not be the right kind, but damn if you eat my kind. Right?
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Prairie Prince, everybody.
Good night,
Prairie Prince in
Prairie.
the house. You got like that, dude.
Yes,
Two good
sir.
songs with Prairie on it. All right. Hey, I like this idea of a tiki party at Prairie's house, Cruiser Mill.
Yeah, no,
Definitely.
Prairie talk.
Me too.
Bobby's trying to come in and say something real quick.
Okay.
Bobby is? Okay, hang on.
Get out of
Gotta
here
get-
too. I've got dinner waiting for me. I'm gonna go eat.
Oh, that's right. California time. All right, man. Thanks
It's all
again,
good,
Bobby.
man.
You've always been a great guest over here. We appreciate you coming in and giving us all your time.
Thanks,
Absolutely. Did Prairie talk about his album? Because my
Yeah.
mic was
Yes.
messed up, so well.
Yep.
Bobby.
Good.
He did.
Yeah.
Let
10
me
years
tell you,
running.
man, that thing sounds absolutely amazing.
Oh,
So
cool.
everybody's gonna love hearing that.
Can't wait. We have no doubt.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, he
guys.
needs to
man.
hurry up and get it put out there.
Yeah,
get
See
it
you
out
guys
there.
soon.
See you, Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you.
All right, Bobby Strickland. We played both him and Prairie songs, right? So we played those.
Yes, yes.
We need to get. It's already. Let's see. All right, it's been a while. Let's do, because you'd asked me, and I did not do it because we kind of are when we
Right.
free flowing like your album.
Yes.
But we want to do one with Brian Grace on it. Brian Grace, big Todd
Yes.
fan.
Yes.
Horn player. Everybody knows Brian. I think most people do. He's been involved with sometimes with some of our fan bands, but a professional musician, has some CDs, played with some major players. It's a good get for Dode. And he's on, if I am remembering correctly, he's on the How Does It Feel Mark to be 25.
Yeah, but he's also on Piss Aaron on the
Someone Anyone album. Okay.
Someone Anyone. Yes.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And we met in New Orleans at Todd Stock, and I think that might have been 2013.
Not away.
And
Yeah.
So
So Brian was at our first Run Radio party in Vegas.
And he got up and played
He played
Pissing.
with Todd. What year was it? 2007, 8, something like that.
Oh,
So anyway, 08 was it? Okay, fun time.
First birthday party.
Yes.
Now is he on a bunch of songs or is he on number 2?
So just How Does It Feel Mark to be 25.
All right,
Yes.
so we want to do that one for sure, and then I want to do your ballad. I want to hear that. What tell me about this song? Who's Mark and what's up with 25? We weren't there. That's been a long time ago for 25.
You know, early in my songwriting career and falling in love with Todd Rundgren and still being trapped in a rural country town, what kind of subject matter do you have?
Mm-hmm.
So this friend of mine, he's a farmer. He was turning 25. He said, let's have a party at your house for me. I said, okay. And I said, well, we need, what can I give him? And I just moved a piano in there and I had some other friends around. I said, let's try to write him a song. And I like Todd Rundgren's Zen Archer. And I'd been playing with those C minor, F minor, G minor chords and stuff and everything. And I bought this rolling drum machine and was going on. And so me and a couple friends, we wrote, How Does It Feel Mark to be 25? So he's just a country farmer guy. And these are all the kind of things that goes on in his life. He likes to stretch truth. If he caught a fish this big, it's this big,
Mm-hmm.
He's just a great country guy and the kind of guy to say, dude, play my song. When you going to play my song? Hey, you going to play my song? Everybody's waiting for you to play my song.
Let's play it. Here we go.
rolls on by. Time rolls on by. And they're living nearby. One in the field means there's four in the woods. Don't get all vibing, you're just no good. You're just no good, boy. You're just no good. Don't get all vibing, you're just no good. While your time rolls on by. Time rolls on. Show you a brim now that's over 2 pounds. He's got to brag 'cause he's always right. Get out of line and he'll kill you tonight. Kill you tonight, boy. Kill you tonight. Get out of line and he'll kill you tonight. Because the time rolls on by. Time rolls on.
No, it's watch this, Joe. Watch this. Watch what I'm gonna do right here.
Y'all, that okay? A couple people did think that was Bobby, and it wasn't. That was
Brian Grace.
But
Fernando's not acting like he can hear me.
No, I can hear you.
This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Watch this. Watch this. Time.
Yes.
So that's all Fernando in his production.
Fernando, the producer.
No, I love it. That's such a great track, and it's really fun. I love that. I love playing that.
And that song was not whatever kind of. It's a jazz master, a Fender. That's like a beach.
Yeah,
that gives the surf kind of a feel.
Yes.
You know, it was nothing like that before I got out to LA with Fernando.
Oh.
And he took it to a whole nother level, which is fantastic.
I know what I'm good at, and that is definitely my wheelhouse, to be able to do that type of stuff with the wang bar, you know, and give it that surfy thing. And somebody mentioned Chris Isaac. Yeah, I love the Chris Isaac stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Very.
So big question to Dode. Has Mark heard the recorded version?
Bo, he's like all over it. It's got like, I don't know, 127 plays on YouTube. You know?
It's all from him.
In my neck of the woods, that's major league right there, Bo.
Yeah, get that on Alexa.
Happy birthday, Mark.
He loves it.
25, baby.
He loves it.
Oops.
Well, let's go to Harrison's song now.
Yeah,
I can't wait for everybody to hear the soft side of Dode, the soft side of Heaven Cutter.
You know, Todd's got that song, The Past. I'm living in the past I know. And he hasn't played it very often on stage, you know, and he gets over by the piano. Lately, you know, he's like, I'm not going to play the piano anymore. It's not comfortable. So I not know where it was or whatever, but he went over there and got on some kind of sideline keyboard, and he plays the ballads like we all fell in love with early on. And it's just so fantastic. That's
Yeah,
really where I love Todd Rundgren, is slow ballads on the piano. I mean, that's what rips my heart out for Todd Rundgren. So anyway, I said, I would like to be able to write a song like that. And my son and a couple of his friends, whatever, my wife found a bong in the garage wrapped up in his coat made out of bamboo. She's like, look what I found in the garage. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. He's going to hell. Oh. So I immediately said, dude, you got to learn how to hide your stuff. Why would you bring that back to the house? Leave that down at the pawn house or down at the barn somewhere, you know? Put it in your car. Don't bring that into the garage and hide it in your coat where your mama's going to find it. Now the whole household is all out of whack, you know? Mom ain't happy. Nobody's happy, you know? So I'm like, dude, this is not good. You need to I'm not saying you need to stop growing up and having fun and doing all this crazy shit that I did, but you got to get better at hiding your stuff. So anyway, I try to convince my wife it's going to be fine. So they call some kind of meeting of the parents, you know, and all the parents of the other kids, and they all got together on like a Tuesday night or something. And I said, I ain't going to that. That's crap. All those parents, I saw them. They were partying like rock stars when they were young. This is hypocritical to the max. So I go over there, and one of the parents says, I just want to lock him in a cage and throw away the key. Oh, I said, this is ridiculous. Let the kids grow up just like we did. Stop trying to, you know. So I wrote the Harrison song about Harrison growing up too fast.
Harrison. All right. All right, everybody, get your Kleenex out. Here we go.
I used to hold you friends.
Of Durga singing those background vocals.
Who?
Fernando,
Oh, yeah.
slightly above Durga singing the background vocals.
Dude.
What the hell
Fernando,
are
you're
you
going
doing?
up too fast.
Playing guitar like Jeff Beck, if I'm not mistaken. That wail kind of fantastic.
Fernando took it to heart that he was growing up too fast. He decided to go back a few years.
Looks like you might need to shave.
Hey, look like this guy.
What my next request is.
Okay. We might understand what you're saying.
Caca, caca.
This thing's hot.
So much fun. I'm on like my 6th beer.
Oh, hell.
Yeah. What? It's the Watch Dode Get Drunk party
On a Wednesday night.
Dode Harrison song was good. I get it. It's nice and mellow.
It's very nice. There's some great
Good
songs.
one.
And oh man, well, you know what? I have requests for the last two.
Okay.
Now still on the mellow side. You got to play
Okay.
the camp song.
Who?
The camp song.
The camp song.
It's about Todd camps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about before we do that, let's close with that or whatever. We're probably getting to the end here, aren't we?
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Anyway, we want to leave them wanting more. We don't want to.
Yes.
We don't want this thing to like drag and.
Yeah.
So the funky groove, I wanted to tell my kids, I said, I can write a rap song like that stuff y'all are listening to. And they said, I don't believe it. So I wrote this rap song. I got out to LA and I told Fernando and Prairie, I said, I got this rap song, but I want you guys to come up with the funky groove that goes with the words.
Yeah.
I said, and I would like to have something like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
ha.
Easy.
Okay.
Funky groove. Can you
Funky Groove's the one you want?
cue that one up?
I can. And then we're going to ask Cruiser Mel what her opinion is of this song.
There you go.
You will be
Okay.
in this spot when we return.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Before you bust a move, you gotta have yourself a funky groove. Not too rough, not too smooth. This is the kind of thing to make your body get loose. You can jump forward or you can jump back. Don't give yourself a heart attack. Not the kind of thing to cause you pain. Just the kind of thing to drive the ladies insane. Drive the ladies insane. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your sister too. Don't stop dancing cause we ain't through. You don't feel it? I know the cause. You and your lady been living on Mars. You don't feel it? You must be sick. Don't you know I feel every tick? You got the bug and you got the flu. Only one thing left for you to do. Now before you bust a move, you gotta have yourself a funky groove. Now before you bust a move, you gotta have yourself a funky groove. Now before you bust a move, you gotta have yourself a funky groove. Now before you bust a move, you got to have yourself a funky groove. Say what? Damn, dude, what kind of speakers you got in that car? Are those 18s? It's a Tesla. Why? It's a Tesla. Why? It's a Tesla.
Oh Oh, me. Well, it ain't no Eminem, but it's very much a true rap song.
I think a lawsuit's coming with the Bust a Move. I've heard that somewhere before. I'm just saying.
Yo, bust a move.
I'm not going to tell you
John
what Fred
Fernando
Jeske
again.
said he wanted to do to his dog when he heard that song.
What? Oh, Lord.
Fred was going to call in, but he didn't. You know, we kind of had.
I wanted Fred to call in, and he said he had a hotline to Harry Carey straight from the grave.
That's right. Well, he's it was we got some good time, which we appreciate from Bobby and Prairie. So it worked out great.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the camp song's how we're gonna finish on it. But tell me about this Just Another Shitty Day in Paradise. That's funny to me. Is that like a Jimmy Buffett song or what?
So I go out, I go to recording engineering school. I work on 2 movies. I go out to LA. I'm out there. It's mind blowing coming from a country honky tonk town like I live in. LA, it's like, I'm scared, Bo. I mean, I'm scared to go to work. I'm scared to do my job. It's like homelessness and all this kind of stuff. And, I'm still wanting to write songs and play stuff. And I end up turning from the janitor into working for Guns N' Roses, and they love me. They said, "Where are you from? Louisiana?" And I say, "No." Anyway, I get myself in, and I cut in front of a whole bunch of guys who've been there like for 5 years. I've been there 6 months, and I'm working with Guns N' Roses. They want me to make their runs. They like the way I talk, my funny name, and all this kind of stuff. So now I'm in there, and I'm close to them, I'm around them, and I really, bond with Slash, and he loves me, and I love him, and I really get close to Slash more than any of the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, "Bo, how's it going today?" He goes, "Man, it's just another shitty day in paradise." I say, "Oh,
I like it."
I like that.
So I don't mean to diss LA so bad, but it was just a particular time in my life where I'd come from country honky tonk to LA, and I was scared of everything I was seeing and stuff. And I think it's got the hard rocking Guns N' Roses, heavy metal, coming in there too.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like it. I mean, I think it's a great song. I asked Fernando, I said, "Fernando, what am I? I mean, am I rock? Am I country?"
You're a diamond cutter.
I mean, what? He goes, "You're Dode, man. I mean, you're just
Dode.
freaking Dode.
Box yourself in on it, John.
Don't worry about it. You all right. You fine."
So let me ask you a couple questions about these titles right quick. So Chicken Song's one everybody's heard a lot, right?
Yes.
Got it.
My neighbors all sued me. I'll see a chicken and I say, "What's going on? That chicken's mine." I'm going to write a song about what's going on. Chicken's mine.
Mm-hmm. What's your obsession with Tesla?
Tesla, Trace and I had the Sunday afternoon off, and we were down there on Lancashire, and we're sitting on a park bench, and we're going down into Hollywood. It's a Sunday afternoon, and we're going to the Laugh Factory. I want to see the stand-up comedians, and what it would be like to actually go up there and get on that stage at the Laugh Factory.
Mm-hmm.
And it's chocolate sundae. And so naive me, I think it's like, desserts. I don't realize that it's a totally Afro-American event. And it get down there, and it's Trace and I, He's the only white guys in there.
What?
And we have a blast. And the comedians are funny, and it's great. And a guy sitting beside me, he loves me. He said, "Oh, you're going to make it, Bo. You're going to do good." I say, "I'm out there recording LA." And so we call the Uber, and I'm doing there, and I'm trying to pick the cheapest one you can get, right? And I pick it, and I look at it, and this little icon pops up, and it says it's a Tesla.
Hey, there's
And
your
I
song.
say, "Oh, Trace, Bo, check it out. It's a Tesla." I said, "Have you ridden in a Tesla?" He goes, "No." I said, "I ain't ridden in a Tesla. It's going to be fun." So we look up to the left like this. The sun's coming down, it's California out there, beautiful. And you can't really see it coming because of the sun and stuff. And you can't hear it because it's a Tesla.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, whoo, there it is. It's like, get in. Well, you can't find the fucking handle to get in. Then we get in, and I'm like, wow, this is a Tesla. The seats are all leather and it's clean as a whistle, and it's glass up on the top like a fishbowl. And I go, oh man, and I say, they say these things, are powerful, and they got a lot of pickup. He stalks it and cuts a U-turn, throws me over in the trace and straight, and we're pulling G's. We're back in our seats like this. There's no way we could move. I mean, I don't know what it goes 0 to 60 in 2 seconds or whatever, but and there's no noise. There's no engine noise. It's like, I can't believe this is happening. This is like futuristic.
It's like NASCAR.
I say
electricity.
No,
I can write a song about this. This blows my mind. I can write a song about this. I can get some more material. We're kind of running low on material. We're getting towards the end. I can write a song about this. And Fernando says, well, you got to say something in there about getting run over. And I said, what? He said, oh, yeah, people get run over because they can't hear it.
Yeah, okay.
And I say, okay. And so I try to work that in there. And in the hotel room, I'm sitting on my laptop. And I just write the words about the experience. And then I go into the studio next day and I say, well, I got the song about Tesla. I said, there's no music. There's no music. I just got the words. I said, so you and Fernando, y'all get on something. Y'all strike up something. Trace, play something you've been wanting to play. Play like you've been wanting to play instead of like going with Dode songs. Fernando, play something like you want to play. And I'll rap on top of that. So that's the Tesla song.
Yeah. All right. So don't go back to the winery. I got a feeling it has something to do with one of the camps, Todd camps. Am I right?
That's Cambria. And we go on the winery tours.
Bus breaks down.
We're out there. And Gary from Philadelphia, he liked my joke about what's you get when you cross an elephant and a rhino. And I say, Elephano. And he liked me, and I was rapping on the mic. I got the bus, and I went up to the front, and Todd and CLB was sitting beside each other. And I said, hey, man, would it be all right if I just grabbed the mic and started talking to everybody? He goes, knock yourself out. Otherwise, it's been like a quiet ride back to where we came from, So
yeah, I've been there, done that.
I just start talking and saying, the reason I fell in love with Todd Rundgren goes blah, 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 blah. Anyway, and I told jokes. And so Gary and I became friends. We got back from the winery tour, and I said, oh, there's a good looking Filipino girl out there. Oh my gosh, she's waiting on us. Oh Lord, I'm going back to the winery. He said, Dode, do not go back to the winery. Write a song. That's a good song for you.
Is that Gary Morlock you talking about?
Yes. He said, that's a good song for you. Write a song. Don't go back to the winery.
Don't go back to the winery.
Okay. And now,
wasn't there a bus that broke down on that trip?
Yes, one of the buses broke down. Yeah. Terry Moore was on that bus. All the people. So it's just kind of trying to. And we went to the Hearst Castle. And so I say, you got a castle of dreams, and there's all kind of other things that pull in there that if you were on that actual tour, it would ring a bell.
I appreciate your bus joke, but I can promise you it does not top the one I had back in the Todd Healing Tour days, and I'll share that with you another time because you would be better at telling it than I would.
That would be good.
Hairspray and wine.
Hairspray and wine.
What's the combination? I don't get it.
I took my daddy down to the big chicken convention in Atlanta. My dad was getting old, and I was getting away from my sister, and I was just trying to take care of him and do things with him. He wanted to go down and visit his old friend, and they were both in their 90s and stuff, and they hugged each other, and they were crying, knowing, oh, I hadn't seen you in so long, and probably not ever go see you again because we're in our mid-90s. We're not going to live that much longer. And I said, we'd love to take you out to dinner. And she said, oh, no, you're not taking us out to dinner. We're going to have wine and cheese. I'm inviting some other ladies to come over. So they came over. We're all sitting there eating wine and cheese. And I said, Miss Naomi, what's the secret to living so long? And she said, hairspray and wine.
I like that.
Man,
she said other things too.
Everything you hear. Yeah.
She said other things too in that whole 2-3 hour period. She said, I sleep in the queen, but I ain't got no king.
Sounds like a fun lady.
If your phone doesn't ring, it's probably me.
Oh,
All right, so 2 more things. We got to mention Recon Joe because he's one of our favorites.
Yes. Joe is awesome. You see him at all these Todd shows. He's on the outside because he was a smoker, but he's not a smoker anymore. But he was always on the outside where you come in and out, and he's wearing the Vietnam hat with the stars on the top. And he's saying, "Hey, Roy, you gonna need some beer or something?" And I said, "Yeah, you go right down there. They got damn beer like $2.50. You get like 6-pack down there, you know. Or you want something to eat? You want something to eat? Cause right down there, you got a damn cheeseburger down there, boy. The more than you can eat, you get a good deal on it down there or something, you know." He's always debriefing you on the lay of the land and where you can get the deals and all this kind of stuff. He's always laying it down.
Good people. Yeah.
So I told my
Lisa's great as well.
I told my childhood friend, I said, "You got to meet this guy, boy. He's fascinating. He's got something to do with Vietnam. He's got this hat on. It's got stars on it and all that kind of stuff. You know, he's always there. It's just like his name's Joe. That's all I know. He's like from Detroit." And so we go to the House of Blues in Chicago. CLB has a big party up there. We Cincinnati before that. We get up there and we say, "Joe, where you been?" He goes, "Damn, boy, got in a car to come up here. And Elise was over there talking on the phone to me. She got GPS and stuff. You know, I ain't paying no attention. And so we just going down the interstate. And all of a sudden I say, how much longer we got to get there?" And she says, 3.5 hours. He goes, 3.5 hours? What the hell? We've been driving for an hour and a half. Says, we going the wrong way. So he turns around and goes back. He goes to the House of Blues and he says, You going up CLB's party up? You going that gal's party up there? And we said, "No, we can't get in. We're not on the list." "You're not on the list. You gotta be on the list." "No, we're not on the list. You stay right here. I'm gonna go up there and check on things. I'll come back." So he comes back. You follow me. He gets us in. We go up to the secret compartment of the House of Blues and stuff and all like that. You know,
easy.
Joe is the man. Joe is awesome.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So I say, Joe, you're fantastic. You're awesome. He says, "Well, you need to tell my wife that because she need to hear it from somebody else. I keep trying to tell that, but she don't listen to me. You need to tell my wife." So I'm looking at my friend Ken and I say, "Hey, this would be a good thing."
She gets to hear all that all the time, y'all.
I can, you know, maybe I could write a song about him, and that would make her officially believe that he's somebody. But he's such a strong character and everything. And I'm thinking the whole Vietnam thing and stuff. So we get out there with Fernando and me and him and Trace, and I say, "This needs to sound like it's coming over the radio and of a chopper." And Fernando digs down in his trunk and stuff. He pulls out his telephone. Are you listening to me, Fernando? He pulls out the phone, and it sounds like, you know.
No, he's actually talking into the headset of an old microphone.
So that whole thing is just a one-take rap. And I'm just trying to say as many military things as I know, which is not very many. And then Trace goes, "Man, you know, F-U-C-K. That was like an acid trip." So that's Recon Joe.
Recon Joe. All right, so let's I'm gonna give Fernando and
Doug. Am I wrong, Fernando?
Y'all take a couple minutes to chat, and then we'll play this camp song. I'm gonna interrupt you at some point and wrap this up. It's almost 10 o'clock.
All I gotta say is it's almost 10 o'clock, but you know what? This is awesome, and I love the album. I'm very proud of Dode. I'm very proud of Trace. I'm proud of everybody that played on the record, and it came out fantastic. Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of double records are full of filler. This one is all killer. It's great. It's awesome. And Dode, so why don't we announce what we're going to do on the 21st?
We're going to play at Todd Stock, and we're going to play like 6 of these hot cuts off the album. Fernando will be there, Trace will be there, I'll be there, Bobby will be there, Prairie Prince will be there. We're playing on Wednesday the 21st. We get like 30 minutes. We're going to try to knock it out of the park.
It's going to be fun. You know, I had a very weird situation happen with Todd Stock. Basically, I was booked for a tour that didn't happen. And in that time, my brothers in Secret Society had to make things happen. So they're going to have Daniel come in, the original guitar player, and it's going to be amazing. But I'll be there with Dode, and I'll be doing some other stuff on the other nights, and I'll be there for the first half of Toddstock, which is going to be great. But we're going to rock it, and we're going to have a legendary set. You know, Dode never disappoints, and it's going to be fun, and we're going to have a great band, and it's going to be rocking and rolling. So
sounds fun, man.
We're
All right, you guys, appreciate Dode. Congratulations on
hard copy CDs and maybe some T-shirts. Working on it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Bandcamp. What is the site? We ain't talked about it all night.
DodePrickett.bandcamp.com.
Okay, yep. We sent out in the newsletter, but we hadn't talked about it tonight. That's terrible. All right, Dode Prickett. All right, here we go. We're going to close with Camp Song. Appreciate you guys. It's been a great show. We've enjoyed it. Dode, congratulations. Fernando, congratulations. Good stuff.
Good seeing you guys again, too.
Love you, Belle. Love you,
appreciate y'all watching.
Thank you so much.
At the time of your life, how do you explain it to your kids and your wife, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your friends? I'm gonna hang with Todd Rundgren again. Heading to the Catskills, Full Moon Resort, to laugh and play music in upstate New York. Tell a few jokes, throw my cares to the wind, spend a little time with Todd Rundgren again. From a run to a real man even, I saw the line, lockjaw, whole jaw, and black and white. They say you're a genius, but I know truth, the real genius lies in a woman named Ruth. Yeah, I'm here to say what an impact you've had, emphasizing the good, criticizing the bad. I need revival, I'm drowning in sin. I need a little time with Todd Rundgren again. I'd like to thank you for this little chance to laugh, to eat, drink, smoke, and dance. 'Cause you are a master of the verse and the rhyme, harmony, melody, message, and time. Todd Rundgren, if you only knew all the troubled times you've seen us through. Say you're a wizard, and this I don't doubt, but don't forget the show. When the stage lights go out, yeah, what can you say at the time of your life? How do you explain it to your kids and your wife, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your friends?